Hello, coffee lovers. Whether you're a devoted fan of the morning cup of joe or just enjoy the occasional latte, there's no denying that coffee is one of the world's most popular beverages. But did you know that it has a fascinating history and some surprising health benefits? Today, we're going to share with you 10 interesting facts about coffee that you might not have known. If you're enjoying a nice cup of coffee along with this video, smash the like button and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Now on to the video. Finland is the most caffeinated country in the world. According to recent statistics, Finland consumes more coffee per capita than any other country in the world. Norway and Iceland come in second and third, respectively. According to the International Coffee Organization, the average Finn drinks around 12 kilograms, 26 pounds, of coffee per year, which is more than any other nation. So why do Finns consume so much coffee? One reason might be the country's cold and dark climate. With long, dark winters, many Finns turn to coffee as a way to stay warm and energized throughout the day. In fact, coffee is often consumed throughout the day in Finland, with many people drinking several cups or more on a daily basis. Another interesting fact is that Finland has a unique coffee culture that sets it apart from other countries. For example, coffee is often served alongside a small snack, like a cinnamon roll or a sandwich. There's also a tradition called kahviotka, which translates to coffee moment. This is a time set aside each day to enjoy a cup of coffee and relax with friends or family. Overall, the high coffee consumption rate in Finland is just one example of how a particular beverage can become intertwined with a country's culture and way of life. Coffee used to be a form of currency. In some parts of the world, coffee was so valuable that it was used as a form of currency. One notable example comes from Ethiopia, where coffee is believed to have originated. In some parts of the country, coffee beans were used as a medium of exchange, with certain beans being considered more valuable than others. This was especially true in areas where there was a shortage of coins or other forms of currency. Coffee was also used as a form of currency in other parts of the world. In Yemen, for example, coffee was traded as a commodity for centuries, with beans being valued based on their quality and origin. In fact, it's believed that some of the first coffee houses were established in Yemen in the 15th century as a place for traders to meet and exchange coffee beans. Even in more recent history, coffee has been used as a form of currency in some places. During World War II, for example, coffee was highly prized and difficult to come by in many parts of Europe. In some countries, coffee was used to barter for other goods, with a pound of coffee being worth several pounds of sugar, for example. Overall, the fact that coffee has been used as a form of currency throughout history is a testament to its value and importance in many cultures around the world. The darker the roast, the less caffeine. It's a common misconception that darker roasted coffee has more caffeine than lighter roasts, but the opposite is actually true. The darker the roast, the less caffeine the coffee contains. When coffee beans are roasted, they lose water and expand, causing the beans to become less dense. This means that darker roasted beans, which have been roasted for a longer period of time, are less dense than lighter roasted beans. Since caffeine is a water-soluble compound, the longer the beans are roasted, the more caffeine is burned off. In addition to caffeine loss, darker roasts also tend to have a stronger flavor and more pronounced smoky or burnt taste. This is because the roasting process caramelizes the sugars in the beans and produces compounds that give the coffee its distinct flavor. So, if you're looking for a caffeine boost, it's best to stick to lighter roasted coffees. However, if you prefer a bolder, more complex flavor, a darker roast might be the way to go. Ultimately, the choice between light and dark roast comes down to personal preference, but it's good to know that the darkness of the roast has a direct impact on the caffeine content of your cup of coffee. Coffee has health benefits. Studies have shown that coffee can have a number of health benefits, including reduced risk of liver disease and type 2 diabetes. Studies have shown that people who drink coffee regularly have a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This may be due to the fact that coffee contains compounds that help to regulate blood sugar levels. Of course, This doesn't mean you should drink coffee in excess, but it's nice to know that your morning cup of joe might be doing some good for your body. It's worth noting that these health benefits are associated with moderate coffee consumption, which is generally considered to be 3 to 4 cups per day. Drinking too much coffee can have negative side effects, such as increased anxiety, jitters, and difficulty sleeping. As with any dietary change, it's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional before making any significant changes to your diet. The word espresso comes from the Italian language. The word espresso comes from the Italian phrase caffè espresso, which means pressed out coffee. It refers to the method of making coffee by forcing hot water through finely ground beans under high pressure. Espresso originated in Italy in the early 20th century, and it quickly became a popular way to enjoy coffee throughout the country. Today, espresso is enjoyed all over the world and is the base for many popular coffee drinks, such as cappuccinos, lattes, and macchiatos. The process of making espresso involves forcing hot water through finely ground coffee beans using a machine called an espresso machine. The result is a small, concentrated shot of coffee with a layer of crema on top, which is a creamy foam that forms as a result of the brewing process. Espresso is known for its bold, rich flavor and high caffeine content. It's also versatile, as it can be enjoyed on its own or used as the base for a wide variety of coffee drinks. Whether you prefer a classic shot of espresso or a frothy latte, there's no denying the popularity and impact that espresso has had on the coffee world. Coffee shops were once known as penny universities. In the 17th century, coffee shops in England were known as penny universities, because for the price of a penny, you could buy a cup of coffee and engage in intellectual conversation with other patrons. The world's most expensive coffee is made from animal poop. Yes, you heard that right. The world's most expensive coffee is made from beans that have been eaten and then excreted by an animal called a civet. The coffee is known as kopi luwak and is produced in Indonesia. While it might sound unappetizing, some coffee connoisseurs swear by its unique flavor. Coffee was once banned in Mecca. In the 16th century, coffee was banned in Mecca because religious leaders believed that it stimulated radical thinking and might encourage political unrest. At the time, coffee was a relatively new beverage that had only recently been introduced to the region. The ban on coffee in Mecca was ordered by the local religious leaders, who believed that the beverage had intoxicating properties and was therefore prohibited under Islamic law. They also viewed coffee houses as places where people would gather to engage in political discussions and other activities that were deemed inappropriate. The world's largest coffee cup can hold over 7,000 gallons of coffee. Located in Guanajuato, Mexico, the cup stands over 10 feet tall. According to Guinness World Records, the largest cup of coffee is 7,116 gallons, achieved by Tonic World Center in Guanajuato, Mexico, on the 10th of December 2022. The Universidad de Guanajuato and the Gobierno del Estado de Guanajuato in León have supported this record attempt. During this record attempt, about 661 pounds of coffee were used and the cup measured about 11.5 feet in diameter and was 10 feet tall. You might need a few hundred friends to help you finish it off. Coffee was originally eaten, not drunk. The first people to consume coffee did so by grinding the beans into a paste and mixing it with animal fat. They would then roll the mixture into small balls and eat them for a quick energy boost. It wasn't until the 15th century that coffee was first brewed as a beverage. According to legend, a shepherd named Caldi noticed that his goats became unusually energetic after eating the coffee berries. He tried them himself and discovered their stimulating effects. The coffee beans were roasted, ground, and brewed into a drink, which quickly became popular throughout the Middle East. Today, coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages in the world, with a variety of preparation methods and brewing styles available. However, it's interesting to think that this beloved beverage started out as a food and only became a drink later in its history. And there you have it, 10 interesting facts about coffee that you might not have known. Whether you prefer your coffee black or with a splash of cream, There's no denying that this humble beverage has had a remarkable impact on cultures around the world. So next time you take a sip of your morning cup of joe, take a moment to appreciate all of the history and science that went into making it possible. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos with interesting facts like these, and if you have any suggestions, please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching.